Hello Russian learners! Now it's my turn to respond to the Don't Study Russian Grammar video by Mr. Bald and Bankrupt. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but there were always some more important things to do, like my Skype lessons, making YouTube videos for you, making my audio course for beginners. However, just recently I saw a video on him by another YouTuber, and I thought, that's it. I can't take it anymore. This issue should be closed once and for all. So here it is, my response to Bald and Bankrupt's Don't Study Russian Grammar. And it's gonna be harsh. This video will consist of 3 parts. In the first part, I will show you that Mr. Bald and Bankrupt is actually misleading you learners, especially beginners. I'm sure he's actually unaware of this himself. He believes what he's saying, but it doesn't make it any easier for you. His advice absolutely 100% will harm you if you are a Russian learner, and I will prove why. Yes, I do actually have proof. In the second part of the video, I will throw light for you on why Russian grammar is such a notorious monster, what or who makes it a monster, and if it's really true. Perhaps Russian grammar is really a mighty wizard who can help you, but who has been turned into a monster. And in the third part, I will finally tell you what to do, what strategy to choose, how you should approach the Russian language to finally start speaking it. Watching this video till the end is a must for every Russian learner. And if you are a beginner, you must watch it twice to make sure you're not going to fall into this trap. Поехали! So, our respected gentleman from Great Britain, his name is Benjamin, if I recall correctly, and I hope he doesn't mind me calling him Ben. So, Ben is trying to persuade us that he speaks good Russian because he ditched the grammar and concentrated on vocabulary. Well, actually, he speaks fluent Russian. By the way, I wouldn't say his Russian is good, but he can get his point across and he understands most of what native speakers say. So he is able to do this because he actually studied the grammar and not because he learned a bunch of Russian words. Yes, Ben, you did study Russian grammar, and you know it, and you know Russian grammar. And that is the reason why you were able to progress so quickly when you started traveling around Russian-speaking countries and absorbing all this vocabulary that you claim is the key to your progress. But vocabulary is not the key. It's just you, Ben, don't understand this. You are delusional, and I will show you later why. So the trick here is that you don't separate grammar and vocabulary. It's a huge mistake to try to persuade people that grammar and vocabulary are fighting each other from the opposite sides of the ring. Ben is telling you guys it's either grammar or vocabulary. You have to choose. No, you don't choose. They should work together. How? Wait for the third part and I will tell you. So, back to our delusional Ben. I will tell you his success story. I mean, you are probably thinking, this guy is a genius. He speaks Russian so well. How did he do that? How did he come to this result? He must have found the right way. Oh, he's saying you just need to learn as much vocab. I'm gonna do this too, yes, but guys, let's face the truth. Let's look at the facts. The guy is traveling around post-Soviet countries, showing us the province, remote villages, small towns, and I actually do like his traveling videos, by the way. But do you think he was just living in Great Britain, just an ordinary British guy who only speaks English And one day, all of a sudden, he decides to go to Russia to blog about our poorest town. And when he comes, he just learns a bunch of words and starts speaking with babushkas right away.
Let's find a couple of chatty babushkas.
Well, of course not. I'm sure he's been interested in learning Russian, in the Russian language and culture, for a long, long time. He's not too young, I mean. And I'm also sure he started learning Russian long before he actually went on his journey. He said it himself.
Quicker progress than all my friends. Quicker progress than the other people in the university courses that I did in the past.
He said he took university courses. Courses, plural. He studied Russian at the university. Do you think he quit the courses because they were teaching him horrible, boring grammar there? I don't think so. I think he completed the courses and he passed his exams. That means he did learn a lot of Russian grammar. But he must have completely forgotten about this fact, though. My favorite metaphor for the Russian language is artificial Christmas tree. Grammar is the stand of the tree, and vocabulary is the branches. To assemble your Russian language tree and start speaking, you need both the stand and the branches, grammar and vocabulary. So while studying at the university, Benjamin built himself a pretty good tree stand. He learned the grammar. However, his Christmas tree was shabby, maybe even almost bare. He lacked the branches. He lacked the vocabulary. But he did have the language system. He had the foundation. God, have you listened to him? He knows all these grammar terms, names of the Russian cases and whatnot. He knows where to put which ending. He has the system. Then all he does is pour tons of words on it, flooded with vocabulary. Of course, he started to have a very quick progress. When you already have a shabby Christmas tree, just add more branches. Put flesh on the skeleton and it's alive. I wonder though, what would he do without the stand that holds the branches together? That's a big question. So he actually built himself a pretty good grammar foundation first, thanks to the boring university classes. And then he enriched it with vocabulary. But he completely forgot about it somehow. Maybe because our brain tends to forget hard stuff. We tend to remember something that is easy and pleasant. Oh, with tons of new vocab, my Russian finally became alive. And I am finally able to understand native speakers. Let's only remember this moment from now on. And let's tell everyone else. Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary.
Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary.
Forget about grammar.
Forget grammar. Forget grammar.
Well, I'm sorry, Ben, but it sounds kinda like I will only love one of my parents from now on. The one that is easier to deal with. Yes, Russian grammar is not easy to deal with. It's the parent who will make you work hard for your own good. It will make you improve through hard work. And why are people so terrified of Russian grammar? Not because they are afraid of hard work, but because they are afraid of hard work that is not rewarded. Everyone wants to speak, to communicate. You want interaction. You want to be able to say various things, to express your thoughts and feelings, and get instant response. No one wants to spend weeks, months, bent over grammar books, cramming the rules, memorizing those endings, and not getting instant response, not experiencing the joy of communication. No one wants to prepare for using a language. Everyone wants to use it right away. And that is why learning a gazillion number of words sounds so tempting. It sounds so easy. Just learn the words. Just learn a whole dictionary by heart and you're good to go. Speak from day one, right? But speaking from day one is possible while studying the Russian grammar and building a proper system of slots for all these gazillions of words that you want to use. It's the only way if you actually want to speak and understand Russian. I will underline Russian, not English, not Spanish, not French, not Italian, Russian, because Russian is different from most commonly learned European languages. I'll show you how it's done very soon. Now, back to our friend Ben. He claims that it doesn't matter whether you say «Я вижу эту девушку» or «Я вижу эта девушка».
You know, in perfect Russian, what you should say is, let's say the accusative case, you should say «Я вижу эту девушку», yeah? You've got to change the ending of all the words. Okay. But if I say «Я вижу эта девушка», you think suddenly some Russian's going to be like, whoa, what the hell's he talking about? He didn't use the accusative case. I don't know what he's talking about. No, of course not.
He says you can ignore the endings. Everyone will still understand you. And again, he himself knows exactly what case it is and what the correct ending is. But he's saying to you, forget the rules, guys.
Forget grammar.
No one needs the rules.
Forget grammar.
Though I know the rules. This is unbelievable. We Russians are so stupid. Why do we need all those endings? Why not abolish all them already? Why do we need those stupid rules? English doesn't have case endings and English speakers live fine. Stupid, stupid Russian people. We complicate our lives for no reason. You know what? If the case endings are not extinct yet, there is a reason for it. Maybe they will extinct someday. Who knows? We used to have more cases in Russian. Now it's just 6. But while we still have them, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I suppose, Ben, you don't drive your car on the left side of the road when you come to Russia, right? I'm sure you don't. Violating the traffic rules can and will result in an accident. Ignoring Russian grammar rules is not that serious, of course, and in the bigger number of situations, nothing bad will happen to you if you mess up the ending of a noun. The Russian babushka will not laugh at you and punch you in the face. But we are not only talking about case endings here. These are particularities. We are talking about the system in general. Russian language is a huge system. It has its own logic, and the logic, if you violate it, will one day result in misunderstanding. It's like this in a bigger number of situations, in a huge number of situations. You apply your English language logic to the Russian language, and in most cases, you get misunderstood, or you don't understand the Russian speakers because they apply the Russian logic. For some reason, most people, when they think of Russian grammar, think of cases and all these long, horrifying endings charts. And Ben only talks about the cases in his video. And yes, all these hundreds of endings don't look like something you want to memorize, especially when a confidently looking British extrovert is walking around Belarus, swallowing all those endings and claiming he's perfectly understood. The confidently looking British extrovert told me in his confident voice that I don't need to study Russian grammar. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Finally, somebody has allowed me not to do that. Yes, you can build a house with no plan or foundation. Just bring your furniture, appliances, and bathroom equipment. Put it all in one pile, and the house will build itself. Only the confidently looking British extrovert forgot that he has already built a house for himself using a completely different method. If you are still telling me you can go without learning the case endings or other grammatical forms, I have two counter-arguments for you: word order and unique Russian sentence structure. Ben gave you just one example where the use of the right ending is not that important in his opinion. I will now give you 7 examples that will prove him wrong. Number 1. Мне дали зарплату. There is a large number of situations when Russian uses an indirect word order, whereas English uses a standard subject-verb-object order, or SVO. An indirect word order means that the subject, the doer of the verb, can be located at the very end of the sentence. An object of the verb can precede the verb itself. There can be no subject, no doer in the sentence at all, or the doer can be hidden in the verb. You don't understand? Look at our sentence again. We have the verb for give in the past tense, and we have the noun salary. But what is мне? One of the most watched videos on my channel is the video where I talk about the differences between я, меня, and мне. English-speaking students confuse these words all the time because all of them can be translated as I into English. So if you don't know the Russian structure here, you might translate it as I gave salary, while in fact мне denotes that I am the recipient of the salary, and the giver, the doer, is amorphous they, people from my workplace, and this information is hidden in the verb ending. Number 2. My favorite example from my favorite Russian course book. Тебя спрашивает директор. It's actually the director, the boss is asking for you. The word order is completely reversed here. If you don't know this, if you don't know that тебя is actually the object of asking, not the subject, you might understand this sentence as you are asking for the boss. And believe me, my students often misunderstand that. I see it all the time in my private lessons. The students cannot get rid of this direct SVO word order in their brain. At first, they can't get used to the fact that the doer can be anywhere in a Russian sentence. And that is why you need those endings and forms to know exactly who the doer is and who the victim is. Number 3. Александра нет на работе. So if you don't know that the absence meaning is conveyed by the genitive case in Russian, and you don't know that the ending a in genitive corresponds to the masculine gender, you might think I'm talking about a girl named Alexandra, whereas in fact I'm talking about Alexander, a guy, and I'm using his name in the genitive case to show that he's absent at work today. Number 4. У меня есть собака. Some Russian structures are specifically Russian. You don't have them in English or in popular European languages. So, in Russian, we have the sentence structure that goes like this: У меня есть, which literally translates as near me exists, but is used in the same situations where you English speakers say I have. I won't go into detail about this structure here because I already have a few videos on it, but I want you to think, how on earth could you learn it if you're just learning vocabulary or trying to pick up grammar patterns naturally from movies and periodicals? Most likely, when you look up the word есть in a dictionary, it will give you to eat, and then you'll probably get the wrong impression of Russian people. Number 5. Questions. You might think, okay, all this weird stuff exists in the Russian language, but maybe I don't necessarily need to use it. Maybe I just go with my standard SVO order and people will still understand me. Maybe they will, but will you understand them? What if they ask you a question? Let's say you said this incorrect sentence provided by Ben, «Я вижу эта девушка», I see this girl, but your conversational partner didn't hear the last two words because you were on a crowded bus. So they only heard «Я вижу», I see, and they ask you, «Кого?» Who do you see? And you are thrown by this «кого». You have no idea what they're asking, since the word «кого» has never come up in your studies. It's not even in a dictionary. The dictionary word for who is «кто». And how can you know about «кого», the object form of who, when you never studied it? So Ben says,
Every day I'm misunderstood. People don't know what I'm talking about. But not once in all those times has that been because of my lack of grammar. Not once. Every single time I've been misunderstood, it's been because either I didn't know the Russian word or I didn't understand the Russian word they were using.
Not once have I ever been misunderstood because of lack of grammar. I've only been misunderstood because I didn't know this or that word. But you know, guys, sometimes some grammatical forms in Russian sound like a totally different word. For example, do you know the word for cat in Russian? Male cat. You're right, it's кот. And how about this? Кота. Does it sound very similar to кот? Some might think it's a totally different word, but no, it's the same word, just the genitive case of it. You will hear it from your Russian friend when he's telling you he doesn't have a cat, for example. Or how about this one? How do you say to look for, to seek in Russian? The dictionary will give you искать. And if I say ищет, you will probably think I've just started swearing in English. But it's just the he form of the same verb. He is looking for. Он ищет. I can give you hundreds of such examples, but I will finish this part with one of my favorite. Кто тебя знает? That's a very common colloquial phrase that Russian speakers use when they want to show they expect anything from a person like you. For example, you say, do you really think I'm capable of doing this? And your Russian friend says, А кто тебя знает? Who knows? Actually, literally, who knows you? Which means, who really knows what kind of person you are, what you are capable of? It's a very common expression, and if you don't know your subject and object, you might translate it word for word. Who you know. So who do you know? If you don't know all that I just described, most likely you'll be thrown by spoken Russian and only guessing what people are talking about. It'll be like walking on a rope. Every step might lead to falling. And your accent, your improper pronunciation, if you mispronounce some words, will definitely increase the chances of falling. Of course, if you are a laid-back type of extrovert like our Ben here, falling 1,000 times probably won't hurt you that bad. But don't forget that our easygoing extrovert Ben wasn't totally a rope walker. He had some ground under his feet, thanks to the grammar foundation that he got from the underappreciated university courses. Do you want to be a rope walker? Do you want to keep guessing what native speakers talk about? Or do you want to understand exactly what they mean? Think about it. To sum up, you really just have two options: to study Russian grammar or not to study Russian grammar. You don't have any options in learning vocabulary, right? You'll be learning it by default. So you can listen to Ben and forget about grammar in your first year of learning Russian, but I assure you, you won't repeat his success, even if you go and live in Russia, Belarus, or Ukraine. Because again, Mr. Bald munched out on learning vocabulary, only after he actually got some notion of the Russian language logic. And please, don't think that you are going to learn Russian grammar the natural way, like Russian children learn Russian. Don't think you will grasp grammar from context, from movies, TV, periodicals, because tell me honestly, if it's your first year of learning Russian and your native language is English, how much can you really understand when watching movies in Russian without English subtitles? How many grammar patterns have you grasped naturally from movies without referring to a grammar book? I think what you probably have grasped is just separate words or a bunch of phrases, but you still have no idea how to go beyond these phrases, how to formulate your own thoughts. But who knows? I might be wrong. Кто вас знает? I'm only basing all this on my 8 years of experience in dealing with foreigners and teaching Russian as a foreign language. So you can follow the advice of the guy whose memory is short and who actually forgot that he learned Russian grammar. Or you can choose an optimal, non-stress way of learning the grammar and the vocabulary simultaneously. Oh my God, a non-stress way of learning Russian grammar? Is it even possible? Yes, it is possible. There are 3 main secrets here. The right sequence of grammar topics, infiltration into conversation, and pace. Secret number 1, the correct sequence of grammar material. Most learners get overwhelmed by Russian grammar because they start with complex topics or they try to learn too many things at once. You can't start assembling your Christmas tree from the middle or from the star at the very top. The same way you can't start learning the Russian language from complex grammatical structures. It's all about building a brand new neural network in your brain, the Russian language network. And if you go in the wrong direction with grammar, or if you try to bite more than you can chew, your brain just shuts down. It says, no, it's impossible, it's too much, or it's too alien, too foreign for us. We can't do that. Of course, you'll be frustrated and you will want to give up or fall for believing that learning a dictionary by heart will help you. As I said before, Russian grammar is not just cases. But since Ben is talking about cases and all those frightening endings, let's look at the correct sequence of studying the Russian cases, shall we? First of all, don't study singular and plural endings at once. Go through this sequence with singular nouns and personal pronouns first. Then go to the beginning and do the same for plural nouns. And then again the same for adjectives, demonstrative pronouns, and other words that agree with nouns in cases. So, accusative, only the meaning of direct object for personal pronouns only. Genitive, only the construction «у меня есть», personal pronouns only. Prepositional, the meaning of location for singular nouns. Accusative, the meaning of direct object for singular nouns. Prepositional and accusative are the meanings for singular nouns. And then genitive, dative, and instrumental for singular nouns. Of course, this is just a rough representation of the correct order of learning the Russian cases. The full sequence is applied successfully at our Russian language lessons in our school Arus Pro. This is a result of hard work of many Russian language teachers, and I've been using it for many years in my work as a teacher of Russian for non-native speakers. This sequence allows your brain to gradually get used to the Russian way of saying things. If you are studying on your own, Go in this direction, and it will make your life so much easier. Secrets number 2 and number 3. Infiltration into conversation and the right pace. You learn the meaning and the endings of one case. That's the grammar learning part. Then you add vocabulary, the vocabulary learning part. You make your own sentences using this case with any nouns that you want, as many as you want. The more the better. So you take a grammar rule, one of the case meanings, for example. Imagine that this is a part of the Christmas tree stand. You study this grammar rule or grammar concept on the necessary amount of vocabulary until the grammatical structures are firmly installed in your brain. And then you enrich them with more vocabulary, branches. You run your examples by a native speaker who corrects possible mistakes, and you start using these sentences every time you converse with Russian speakers. You set yourself a goal to use those sentences as often as possible, and you don't move on to the next case meaning until you've noticed that these sentences have become automatic and you don't think about which ending to use anymore. Only then you can continue with the next part of your Christmas tree. This way, later those sentences will become an anchor for your brain and you'll be able to know which ending to use. As for the right pace, don't practice more than one meaning of a case at the same time. For example, the genitive case has many meanings: absence, location as in somebody's universe, partitive meaning, and so on. Make sure you've made enough examples and used them before you start practicing the next meaning of the case. Bear in mind that extensive practice and adding more vocabulary should follow each case meaning you learn, and you shouldn't jump to a new one unless you've really practiced the previous one. The best way is to practice with a teacher or a language exchange partner, but a teacher will be a better choice because we know how to ask the right questions and how to portion the grammar material correctly. Moreover, at Arus Pro, we hold the knowledge of the entire sequence of grammatical material, including not only cases, but such extremely confusing grammar topics as verbs of motion and imperfective and perfective verbal aspects. To be honest, after watching Ben's videos, I became convinced that he now actually almost enjoys breaking Russian grammar rules. He did learn the grammar, he does have some kind of a system in his brain, but he neglects this fact. He neglects the fact that it's both grammar and vocabulary that allows him to understand and be understood to a certain degree. He didn't polish his Russian over the years of being in a Russian-speaking environment. And I doubt that all his moments of misunderstanding occurred solely because of lack of vocabulary. So my question to you is, actually my few questions to you are, to what degree do you want to be understood when you speak Russian? Do you want to be able to express your deepest thoughts? Do you want to understand Russians correctly when they express their thoughts and feelings? Do you want to tell a funny story and make your friends laugh? Or maybe you want to tell a sad story that will make people think about something important, because you are a person who has lived for some time on this planet. You are a personality, and I'm sure you have a lot to share with your Russian friends in Russian. And I'm sure you want to be able to share with them who you are and not just be able to ask where the nearest bus station is or what we are going to eat for dinner. So, if you do want to express yourself in Russian, you need to start thinking the Russian way. And to do this, you need to use the strategy that I have described. Grammar in tandem with vocabulary. In the right sequence, with the right pace, with thorough infiltration into spontaneous conversation. And if you are a complete beginner, say you only just learned how to read, or maybe you don't even know the alphabet yet. In any case, if you are a beginner, click the link in the description and get my audio course for beginners. It will help you start assembling your Christmas tree from the right side and go in the right direction from bottom to top, and it will help you reconcile grammar and vocabulary by learning everything at once in the right sequence. Oh, and by the way, in addition, my course contains around 1,500 most used Russian words. So don't worry, there'll be enough vocabulary to cover your needs if you are still such a huge vocabulary fan. So let me know if this video was useful and subscribe to my channel not to miss my new lessons. Good luck!